Alrighty. Welcome back to Velvet Crow Gaming. Uh, I'm gonna answer some of the questions that I've seen come up and hopefully provide a little bit more clarity to them. I'm not fully sure if I explained everything quite well. As well as I was asked about making a tier list for the heroes. So I'll be starting that today. Um, as well as some other factors. So, one of the questions that I was asked was, have I struggled since the start? I never really struggled. I was always like fairly strong. There's always going to be teams that are going to defeat you pretty easily, and there's always going to be a back and forth. Um, I've always had a large amount of various heroes at the ready. And this is something that I've done continuously to kind of learn about the characters. Uh, so I'll jump in and I'll start with a recent character, or a recent question on top of some of the other factors. Uh, Tier 1, I have to place Aurora and Tiamat. Both of these are extremely important characters. What makes Aurora different compared to Tiamat and whatnot. Aurora has a chance to apply slowdown with her first attack, or her first skill, where freezing enemies is with her second ability, and it's a lower chance than Tiamat, and Tiamat provides freeze with her first ability. As well as there's a guaranteed reduction of speed for the first 2 rounds, and then she deals more damage to frozen targets. She pairs well with Tiamat, so if you had both of them in the same team, they would work together. Or if you use one or the other, I'm showing the differences. With her first one, she has a 25% chance to apply frozen on them, so a little bit higher than Aurora's 15%. I don't really understand by the second part, so when the snake leaves, she gets a 15% crit rate chance. I'm thinking that when the snake assault happens, so her first ability, she gains the crit rate for 2 rounds, which will allow her second ability to have a higher chance of critting. She also applies exhaust on them, which reduces damage by 15%. And then if their HP is above 50%, it increases crit damage by 20%. So she gains crit by her first ability, has a chance to freeze them a little bit higher than Tiamat or Aurora, and then she reduces their damage as well as has a chance to increase her crit damage. And then her second passive, if she has no less than 30%, so if she's above 30%, her crit rate increases by 10% for that round. If she's lower than 30% HP, then her attack increases. So she has boosts to kind of make her a damage dealer, where Aurora has a good support capability to make your team a little bit faster than the other. I would place Augustus and Michelle in tier 1 because they're both... Oh, and we get that thing. That thing happens a lot. I would like to see that fixed, but I won't go into it. Augustus being the stronger of the tanks, Poseidon being the second. Poseidon will be tier 2, Doris will be tier 2, Hassan and Elizabeth here will be tier 2. The reason why I don't say Elizabeth is tier 1 is she does still have a couple of drawbacks. From what I noticed, she is a little bit squishy. She's also a little bit slower. It's not a bad difference, but it is enough that a lot of other characters are easily outspeeding her. So if she's not able to get all of her stuff off fast enough, uh, I can't quite place her in the target for tier 1. Michelle being tier 1 because she is one of the few revive healers. And then tier 3 being Murgen and Agrona. The next aspect I would talk about is fire, or comes from a question with fire, between Margaret and Natsuki. Margaret is full AoE, meaning she hits all the. Oh, this one hits 3, excuse me. 40% chance to apply burning. And then she does hit all of the targets. And then she gets a 60% chance of crit happening if they are burning or ignited. And then she deals 10% damage to, or more damage to those under burning or ignited. So she has a high chance to crit, or a little higher to crit compared to Natsuki. Natsuki being my favorite. She hits 3 random enemies with 50% chance to apply burning on them. And then her secondary hits 3 enemies with a 40% chance to blind them, meaning they're going to have a harder time to hit people, to hit their attacks. And it always targets enemies under burning or ignited first. Her secondary passive, when they're under burning or ignited, her crit rate increases by 30% and she deals 10% damage to them. 10% extra damage to them. So she's always attacking burning and ignited first. So there's constantly an increase of damage and crit rate compared to just a skill with crit rate. Mind you, she doesn't hit all of the heroes, but she hits enough where her damage deals enough. As far as a tier list in fire, tier 1 will be Solomon, Charlotte, Natsuki, Margaret, Izanami. There's a reason why I'm using 5 here. Not all of the not everything is balanced yet. We're still going through the balances, and or the devs are still balancing and working on balances and stuff like that. Tier 2, I will place Eris and Gabriel. They've gotten some buffs, but they're still really, really squishy. I can still smack around Gabriel really easily. And Eris, she can complement a team really well, or she can be a setback. There's so many inconsistencies that I can't place Gabriel and Eris. Eris being this one here, that I can't place them above that. And then Mary and Francis being your lowest. The next character, and I'll skip around a little bit here, is I was asked about Nyx. So Nyx, She deals damage to all the enemies in the back column and applies shield on 3 allies with the lowest HP. So it absorbs damage and protects your allies as well as deals damage to the back end. And I should probably point this out too. She has a charm that at the start of the fight, it reduces 10% of all enemies' attacks for 2 rounds and can't be cleansed. So you have a reduction of damage coming to you, and you have a chance, or you have 3 of your heroes getting a shield for 2 rounds, as well as her secondary, being the night box. The disease box deals damage to all enemies, and you have a chance of either minus 30% healing, minus 20% hit rate, or minus 30% attack. All 3 of these are really, really good. It doesn't matter which one it chooses. Minus 30% means Michael and Gaia can't heal them as fast, and you have a chance to take them out a little bit easier. Minus 20% hit rate means you have a chance to take less damage. Minus 30% attack also means less damage. Or there's a blessing box that heals all allies for 10% of their maximum HP, which is a fairly good chunk, and increases their attack by 10%. This complements with Michelle's healing. Michelle also provides a attack boost with her healing. So if the blessing box goes off alongside Michelle, it will provide some extra assistance. As far as tier list here, Sphinx, Hera. So you got Hera, Sphinx, and Nyx, I will say, are tier 1. Those are your 3 most useful. Burial and Lilith will be tier 2. Abaddon and April are your tier 3. There's a lot of factors into it. I won't go all into it this episode, as I'm trying to cover at least the minimum to assist with some of the questions that I've seen. I would like to say I don't know much on light heroes. I can't really tier these too well. I've tried Moses. I still use Ares. I've had Alice for a while. I've never used Tyke, even though I've had her. And Astolfo was only used to push Ares up. So I don't really know much on these. Alice is similar to Charlotte, not with the shields, but she deals AoE and healing. So she's able to dish damage and heal the allies. Where Michael, the one that I have locked up top, he is healing and revive, and he's known as he's up there as the strongest healers at the moment. They've balanced him out to where he feels a little bit better and he's more in line. I can't really give a tier list with lights. I don't have enough knowledge with them, and I apologize for that. I'll go into the wind next. Let's see, where am I at? Okay. I might be going a little quick here. I apologize. Wind is going to be a little weird because the only one that's in tier 3 is Medusa. There's a reason why I say this. Lily, even being, one of the kind of weaker characters in this list, she has the capability to revive as well. She's also very easy to get to 4 stars. you get quite a few of Lily. Um, Lily will be an easy character to use until you have either Michael or Michelle. Um, when it comes down to wind, it's a little goofy here. Seth is really, really strong. In some manners, he does need nerfed a little bit. At the same time, too, he's very useful with where he's at. Seth and Gaia are tier 1s, Gaia being one of the strongest, or one of the top healers, because she can provide sustained healing, I think cure as well. So she's a very good support character for healing only. Diana provides a shield. She is a support tank. She shields 2 enemies or 2 allies plus herself, provides damage mitigation, and heals plus cures herself. So she's a very solid tank. I've used her on my Smurf, and I think I still have her needing one more. Wukong is the strongest tank in wind, without a doubt. So for tier 1, I'd have to say Seth, Gaia, Diana, Wukong. Tier 2 is going to be Merlin, Mulan, Lily. Tier 3, Medusa. So I hope these kind of help you out understanding where the characters lie. Fire still needs balanced out quite heavily. Izanami is still, even though she's strong, she only has 94 speed compared to even my Charlotte, 103 on a baseline. So there's no guarantee that a core hero is going to be stronger than a mid or a bottom hero. Your team has to complement each other and work together. If your team isn't balanced together, you have a lot of conflicts that come up. Let me see here. I will go into Arena and show an example of this. Let me see. Have I not been knocked down a little? Well, I'm at 44. This is another thing I can point out too. I do struggle a little bit, but not heavily. It's because I have my heroes so scattered. If I wanted to, I could push my Wukong up to 10 stars by sacrificing my Natsuki. But that'd also be a very bad choice at the same time because she dishes so much damage out. See how my logs are looking. I got 1 loss to Alexa. I'm starting to look a little better, I've pushed my team up a little bit. I've strengthened myself in various ways, and I'm not the strongest. I'm probably not the best player out there, but I do good enough that I'm happy with what I got. So I'll explain how my team works. So you got Wukong that tanks. He's got a probability to revive. He provides armor break. Tiamat provides freezing and crit, which the crit works with Charlotte's Bloody Charm. Natsuki has crit, which works with Charlotte's Bloody Charm. So there's always a type of healing passively as well as Michelle's healing. Wow, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't expecting to win that one, but okay. Michelle revives. You have AoE plus shielding from Charlotte, and the shield from Charlotte is one of the only ones that I know of that dishes damage back. Meaning, when somebody's character deals damage to my team, uh, I dish it back via the shield whenever they hit the shield. So as you've seen, uh, Solomon took a good chunk of damage. So that shield is taking a heavy amount of damage. This one's gonna be a loss. He's got a good team. I've lost quite a bit to that one. Oh, that was a different team. Okay, that's a pretty good team. I'm not sure 100%. Oh yeah, that team I've lost to quite a bit. See if I can find another one. Where is this gentleman at? He's a little bit higher up. Alexa Allen. Let's try Alexa Allen again. So I've got passive healing, crit, armor piercing, so to speak, stun, blind, freezing, revive, shielding, reflect. So there's a various amount of ways I can dish damage outwards. So the way you build your team is to work in a certain way. Now, right now, I have been contemplating it. It has been an idea that's kind of crossed my mind, is sacrificing my Natsuki for Wukong and then boosting up my Seth. Most likely I may do that overall, to kind of get myself strengthened up, to push myself upwards. So I hope these kind of answer your questions that you guys brought forward. I hope these kind of assist. And I'm thankful for all the questions that you guys have asked. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. Thank you.